Hi, I am in a great mood and I'm supposed to be packing today and I haven't done that yet. I've been tired, so I've just been kind of resting, which is what happens. I mean, that's just the way it is. I guess it's going to be like this for weeks, apparently. I'm like, what? It just doesn't make sense because, like, it's hard, it's super hard to just accept the fact that I had major open heart surgery, okay? Because my chest is sore and my ribs are sore underneath. And mostly my shoulders are sore, especially my left shoulder is just really sore. And sometimes my heart races and beats really fast and it's hard to catch my breath, okay? But that's mostly because I have medication that is designed to help slow my heartbeat so that my heart, while it's healing, doesn't have to work so hard to pump the blood. And so remember, it's the aorta, actually the muscle connected to the heart, that was the problem for me. It was connected right at that root ball on the back, and that's where the tear was. And so that's where the repair was. And that's where then I also had a sheath put in and a valve and all that stuff fixed up. So there's a lot of work that was done inside, but my brain I cannot fathom that. What I can fathom is what's tangible. So like, I still have just a tiny bit of a bruise on my left hand where one of the many IVs, I had IVs in my wrists and the bends of my arms by my elbows and my neck. I had one on my ankle. I had them like all over the freaking place, as you would expect, right? Because they need to access whatever for all the different things. And so I'm in decent spirits, but like trying to get things accomplished, like packing is just not, it's not a big push thing that I did today. And so in 2 days, I am going to Boston, and I'm going to meet my sister, who's going to be my driver, and we're going to drive back to Minnesota. So we're going to drive through Connecticut. I think we're driving through Connecticut, New York. I don't know if we're doing the Pennsylvania route or I can't remember, but we got to figure that stuff out. But can only drive like 5 hours a day though, because I have to stop. I have to move and I can't be seated for that long. That's too much just sitting in one position for me. I can't do that. And I can't actually drive. Like I can't drive for the next 3 months. I have restrictions on driving because I can't turn. I can't twist my torso because of the sternum being cut open. It has to have lots of time to heal, as you can imagine, all the muscles and the fibers and the everything and the bone healing. And so I can't even put both of my arms above my head at the same time. I can't do that. And I can't lift or carry anything. It's just a whole thing, right? Push or pull, or even like opening and shutting a car door is not easy. So it's just a thing. It's a new temporary scenario. So, but I am in good spirits today. And I am thinking about the time that I've had here. So that's good. And it feels good. And I've had time to really recoup and recover. I got I think I showed I know I showed this, but look at how good my scar looks. So good. Oh my gosh, it looks really good. Apparently, when the home health nurse took off the bandage, she said, "It looks so good." And I said, "It does?" And she said, "Yes." She said, "Oh my gosh, it looks like it's a couple months down the road." She said, "You heal really well." And I'm like, "Thank you." I also have an incision on my right thigh, like right at the bend of my leg, like right at the groin area, and where they did all the bypassing and all the stuff, or either that or it was like where the catheter went into my heart. I can't remember. I can't remember. I don't really know exactly what was plugged into what. And right now I'm having a hot flash, so that's lovely. Ooh, hot. But I have like a long, what some people refer to as a zipper. It's not a zipper, okay? It's a beautiful, delicate line that goes down to my chest. And then right before my belly button, right the center of my belly, there are three, I'm just going to say holes because that's what they look like, three little holes that have, that's where the tubes were for the drainage tubes from the blood that, and all the stuff and everything like in my lungs and everything is disgusting. That part is disgusting to me. That was the most painful part, was having two in one lung, one side, and one in the other, and feeling them. I felt them. And the physician's assistant said, yeah, I said, the most painful part, I said, isn't the sternum, because people were like, this part can be really sore and we can put lidocaine patches. And I said, that's not what hurts. It's my lungs. My rib cage is killing me, especially on my right side. And he said, that's your drainage tubes. He said, those are the tubes. He said, because you're thin. He said, that happens because they bump into each other inside. I'm like, oh my God, they freaking hurt, dude. I'm like, yeah, it's painful. So when those came out, I was very celebratory, that's for sure. So I have three holes there. I kind of look like a Darth Vader vibe, just so you know. I'm like, I could like draw with a Sharpie all around the stuff on my body, and I could look like a beep boop, beep boop, beep boop, like some kind of a Darth Vader person or something. It's so weird. And then that little spot on my thigh, my right thigh, is... that one does not make me very happy. That one's kind of weird. It's got like a couple of little suture marks, and I don't know. It's weird. That one's weird, but that's the only like real, that and the fatigue are really the most obvious things that I can think of that I even need to be careful. But the fatigue is real. Like I walk up and down the stairs a couple times. I'm like, tired. It's a thing. So, but like I said before, and I'm going to say it again, I am grateful to be alive. I'm happy to be alive. And if it wasn't for my friend grabbing my arm saying, okay, I'm calling this, you're going to the doctor again. Like I had already went to the doctor 2 days before that. And she was like, you're going to the doctor now. We're going now. And she grabbed my arm and started, walking with me to the doctor. If she wouldn't have done that, I could have been dead. And I'm not exaggerating, you guys. Look it up. Look up aortic dissection and look up type A, okay? And look that up and look up the stats. 80% of people who have that condition die. They don't even make it to the hospital. They just fall over dead. By the way, John Ritter had that. He died of that as well. And it's something that, like, especially somebody like me who's like 50 years old, who's relatively fit and in shape, like doesn't have any history of heart issues or high blood pressure or anything. All of a sudden now I got blood pressure things going on and heart stuff showing up, and it's just crazy. The onset was really super fast. And so then once you get to the hospital, so I made it to the hospital, so I was in the top 20%. Woohoo! That made it to the hospital. And then after that, when you do this surgery, which you have to do or you just die, you bleed to death is what happens, right? And so of course I'm going to do the surgery. So I do the surgery, but the doctor says, okay, it's high risk. So there's complications that can happen. You can have a stroke. You can be brain dead. All this stuff can happen. You can die on the table. You can die after the surgery. The first week after is telling. Some people never come off the ventilator. I mean, it's a whole thing. And I'm like, okay, great. I'm like, well, fix me. I said, well, fix me. Let's fix me up. And so the stats, though, which I didn't know at the time, were a third of the people that go into the surgery survive it. So 1/3 of people that actually make it to the hospital and have the surgery survive it. So what, like 30%? I'm thinking I should be playing the lottery. And it was crazy because, I mean, the surgery was really long. It was longer than they wanted it to be. My body wouldn't come off the bypass. I was on the intubator longer than they wanted me to be. I mean, all these things, you know. I mean, it was like, I think it was 9 hours of surgery and 8 hours of just recovery room time, high intensive recovery room time with the intubator. So I was totally on machines for life support for more than a half of a day, almost a whole day. And, but I came off them. I survived the surgery. And then I progressively got better after that too. I was just determined. I was like, what? Like I did not realize how intense it was or how risky it was or anything. I didn't know any of the stats or data on it. I just knew that I went into heart surgery and I was going to get my heart fixed. That's what I knew, you know? And I did get to talk to a couple of my kids before I went in. And because I had a half an hour, that's all I had from the time I got in there, rolled in the ambulance into the ER to the time I went into the operating room was 30 minutes. So I didn't have a lot of time. I had to call just a couple key people and had to give my phone to my friend and have her take care of business. I'm like, you got to do this for me. And she took care of everything. So, and now I'm in her house and she's been taking care of me every day after. So I've been really spoiled and really spoiled with the new Christmas blend of Starbucks. The decaf. You need to have decaf now. You need to try the decaf. I'm like, okay. And with my flowers that I've been getting, I got sunflowers one day. She didn't even know I love sunflowers. I got sunflowers one day, and then I got some mums another day, but they're all yellow, happy and cheerful yellow. And, you know, just surprised with coffee and stuff, and just really, and fruit in the morning. If she does an overnight at the ER, she comes home and she brings fruit, and so nice. I am so freaking spoiled. How am I going to go back to Minnesota? I love Maine. I love the energy of the land here. So I've gotten to go to a couple beaches, even though I've been recovering. Gotten to drive around a little bit and gotten to go to a couple beaches. So the thing is like I have stints where I can do things and then I'm done. I'm done for the day. Like I hit the wall and I'm done. I can't do anymore. Like I just have to stop. I have to say, okay, I can't do anymore. And that's just understood, you know, and I'm taking care of my body for that. But aside from the whole heart surgery, not feeling great thing, I can't go for hikes or anything like that. I'm like, girlfriend, I am coming back here and we are hiking. You know what I'm saying? Like we are going to hike and spend tons of time at these gorgeous beaches. I want to be here and I want to check it out and I want to be all over. And she said her daughter goes to school in Vermont. And I'm like, I've never been to Vermont. Let's go to Vermont. So I'm like, okay, let's do that, you know? So I'm like, I got plans, man. I got plans to come back and enjoy it and experience it. So I'm doing okay. Sometimes I get really low. I'm telling you, I get really depressed and I feel sad, and it's okay because part of that is also hormones because my hormones are all out of whack now. But most of the time I'm okay and I'm working on just healing. I'm just working on healing. So thanks for all your support and your love. I totally appreciate it. I wanted to give you this video message so that you would know how I'm doing. I appreciate it.